Have you ever caught yourself having a full, intense conversation with someone who wasn't even there? Maybe you're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Maybe you're in the shower, watching the waterfall. Or maybe you're pressing your forehead against a cold bus window, watching the city lights blur past, and suddenly, you're somewhere else. You're explaining yourself perfectly. You're winning an argument from 3 years ago. You're imagining a future where everything finally works out. Or you're replaying a painful moment from your past, changing the ending so that you come out on top. The strange thing is, none of it is real, yet your emotions react as if it's happening right now. Your heart speeds up. You feel a sudden surge of anger, relief, embarrassment, excitement, all because of a scene that exists entirely inside your mind. If you've ever done this, you are not alone. In fact, millions of people spend hours every single week living inside imaginary conversations, imaginary futures, and imaginary versions of reality. But why? Why does your brain keep creating stories that never happen? And why do some of us seem almost addicted to them? The answer is far more psychological than most people realize. Because these scenarios aren't random, they are messages, and they are trying to tell you something. Your brain is constantly running simulations. Psychologists call this mental simulation. Long before something happens in real life, your mind rehearses the possibilities. Athletes visualize their competitions. Musicians mentally practice their performances. Public speakers rehearse their speeches in their heads. The human brain simply loves a general rehearsal. It's actually one of the main reasons humans became such successful problem solvers. Before we act, we imagine. Before we decide, we simulate. Before we take a risk, we prepare. In many ways, your imagination is a training ground, a private, safe space where your mind experiments with reality. And most of the time, that's completely healthy. But for some people, the simulations never stop. The brain keeps generating conversation after conversation, scenario after scenario, future after future. And eventually, an invisible shift happens. The imagination stops being a tool and starts becoming a place to live. While these fantasies feel unique to each of us, psychologists notice they almost always fall into 3 distinct categories. The first is the argument scenario. This is where you replay old conflicts. You think of the perfect comeback, the perfect explanation, the perfect thing you should have said, and somehow years later, you're still winning a war that ended long ago. The second category is the success scenario. You imagine finally being recognized, finally being appreciated, finally proving your worth to the people who doubted you. In these stories, people understand you, respect you, and admire you. Everything works out exactly as you always hoped. The third category is the worst-case scenario. This is where your brain becomes a disaster director. What if they reject me? What if I fail? What if everything goes wrong and I embarrass myself? Your mind creates problems before reality has even had a chance to breathe. What's fascinating is that all 3 types are trying to accomplish the exact same thing: control. Real life is messy and unpredictable. People don't always respond the way we want them to. Conversations don't go according to plan. Relationships are complicated, and the future remains uncertain. But inside your imagination, you are the director, the writer, and the lead actor. You control everything. You finally say the perfect thing. You finally get understood. You finally win. For anyone who has spent years feeling misunderstood, powerless, anxious, or overlooked, that level of control feels incredibly comforting. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being human. Who wouldn't want a world where things finally make sense? A future where they are finally appreciated? A conversation where they are finally understood? A relationship where they finally feel chosen? For a few moments, the mind creates a sanctuary that feels safer than the real world. And that is why these scenarios become addictive. Not because they are fake, but because they offer relief. Because sometimes the life inside your head feels much easier to live than the one right in front of you. And that's exactly where the trap begins. The more comfort you receive from imagined experiences, the less motivated you become to build real ones. Have you ever noticed how these scenarios always become strongest at night? When everything goes quiet. When the distractions disappear and you're finally alone with your thoughts. That's not an accident. During the day, reality competes for your attention. At night, your imagination takes center stage. For many, these stories become a bedtime ritual, a way to soothe anxiety, escape loneliness, or feel a sense of comfort before falling asleep. Let me ask you a question, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. What time of day do your imaginary scenarios usually take over, and what kind of stories do you find yourself replaying the most? The real danger here lies in how your brain processes these thoughts. Your brain often struggles to distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Not completely, of course, but enough to trigger the exact same emotional and chemical reactions. Have you ever remembered a conversation so vividly that you had to stop and ask yourself, wait, did that actually happen? Or did I just imagine it? Have you ever felt genuinely angry at someone because of something they did entirely inside your head? Or disappointed because reality didn't follow the perfect script your mind had already written? So what should you do? The answer isn't to stop imagining. That's impossible. And frankly, your imagination isn't the enemy. It is one of the most powerful tools your brain possesses. The goal is learning to identify when your imagination is helping you and when it is hiding you. Next time you catch yourself deep in a fake scenario, ask yourself one simple question. Is this scenario preparing me, or is it protecting me? Preparing means you are rehearsing something you actually intend to do in the real world. Protecting means you are using the fantasy to avoid something you are afraid to face in real life. One creates growth. The other creates escape. Here's the truth most people never hear. Those imaginary worlds you built were not a mistake. Maybe they helped you survive a difficult childhood. Maybe they gave you comfort when reality was too cold. Maybe they gave you hope when you needed it most, or protected you during a deeply lonely season of your life. There is absolutely no shame in that. None. But they were never meant to become your home. They were meant to be a bridge, a place to visit, not a place to live. Your mind can create beautiful possibilities, but your life only begins when you step outside of those possibilities and start living one of them. The future won't be perfect. The conversations won't follow your script. Reality will always be messier than your imagination, but it will also be more meaningful, more surprising, and infinitely more alive. And now it's your turn to give one of those possibilities a real life. If someone came to your mind while watching this, someone who spends a little too much time living inside their thoughts, send them this video. They might need to hear this more than you realize. Step out of the script. Embrace the beautiful mess of real life. And remember to give yourself exactly what you've been searching for. Milk and honey for your soul.